What is the law?
Whose law?
Hello, it's September 2024, and over the years I briefly mentioned and talked about how corporations, businesses, take out life insurance policies against their employees without their knowledge. Just to put this in perspective, that'd be like you taking out an insurance policy against your neighbor's home, and if there happens to be a fire at your neighbor's home, would you be calling the fire department? Something to think about. And there's a very famous case many years ago of a married couple, husband and wife, who were working at Walmart. And the husband ended up with cancer. And Walmart would not help with the medical bills, nor did their insurance policy help with the medical bills. And the insurance policy was through Walmart. And what ended up happening was they ended up having to sell everything, and the husband did pass away. And a few weeks after that, after losing everything and loss of her husband, she received a letter in the mail by mistake from an insurance company she never heard of. She opened it because it was addressed to her, but the check was made out to Walmart for like $1.5 million, $2 million. Now think about this. She contacted the insurance company wondering what was going on, and they said that, oh, we sent that to you by mistake, to return it. Long story short, she ended up, and her family tried suing Walmart, and they lost, because apparently it's lawful for a corporation to take out a life insurance policy against their employees without them knowing. So in essence, the death of their employee had more value than trying to save their life. Corporations, what a lot of people don't know, corporations have the status of a living human being. And as the story goes, the very laws that freed the slaves, which is a different topic, were the same laws that were used to make corporations having the status of a living human being. And that's Business Law 101. Now imagine this scenario, because it can very easily happen to you. You have a corporation, a business, who, for example, you want to sign up to their services. So you're not going to go through 200-page of small print legalese trying to figure out, okay, is this worth it? You want the services of, for example, streaming. So you just say, I agree. And later on, you go to one of their satellite businesses and something bad happens. And you find out you have no recourse. There's a couple recently who had signed up for Walt Disney streaming service, like whatever it is, the cartoons and whatever they have going now, and never thought anything of it. They ended up going to one of their restaurants, and it was well documented that everyone at the table, including the wife, said that she had severe allergies to a certain food. And that message somewhere along the way didn't work, and they ended up giving her food that killed her. So the husband and the family tried to sue Walt Disney, and their defense was that the fact that the family had signed up for some streaming service on TV or the internet there was a clause among 200 pages of fine print legalese that released Walt Disney from any lawsuits, related or not. That is injustice. Perhaps even some might say a form of tyranny. How something like that can happen. The fact that the courts upheld something like that is mind-numbing. Because in contract law, for example, I'm simplifying this to no end here, so before anyone tries to throw in, oh, I missed all these details, I'm just simplifying this. There is the person who owns the contract holder, and there's the person who's going to be signing the contract, and they are considered the disadvantaged party. And leniency, at least it used to, lean towards the person signing the contract, because not everyone knows law, especially contract law, and who's going to pay for a lawyer to filter through something and whatever. And in a situation where you're wanting to sign up for someone's online services like streaming movies or videos or whatever this was, you want the product, and there's no opportunity to negotiate for that product. So you just like, okay, I accept, not thinking that there's all these clauses that who would ever even think of something like that being introduced. You could, an extreme improbable example was you could be saying, I agree, and then somewhere in that clause it's like, yeah, I just signed away my family. You would never even know it until one day they come for your family. So this is the type of thing that the commoner is dealing with without even knowing about it. And when something happens and it comes to light, no one does anything about it because most people don't care. They just want the streaming service. What's the likelihood of going to their restaurant and dying from their food or whatever, getting hurt or injured on one of their rides? Minimal. People are only worried about themselves, so they don't care about that even remote possibility that something might happen. And this kind of reminds me of, for example, I talked about this in a few videos, specifically birth certificates and them being used as collateral by governing bodies. And people, especially the freedom of land type of people, thinking, well, they're entitled to that money. It's not their money. They're not entitled to it. But that's a whole different topic I've discussed in other videos. So with all this said, just things to think about the injustice that goes on every day that's ignored by truthers and freedom types and everybody else, that's impacting everyone's lives. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
I think a lot of them are just stone cold. There's no emotion, and they don't view people as people anymore. And you almost feel like you were literally living in the Twilight Zone, and you feel like you're the only sane one in a bunch of insane people. And it's up to the point where I'm afraid that I'm going to start thinking that this is normal. I don't want to ever get to that point. There's good people, but they're outnumbered. There's good people, but they're outnumbered. There's good people, but they're outnumbered. There's good people, but they're outnumbered.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, when is it going to get easier? When you die.